Hi everyone, and welcome to Longevity Spaces. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to avoid a fall in the elderly population. And this is a 5-part series, so this is part 1. And the reason I've devoted 5 parts to fall prevention is because it is a very, very alarming topic. The consequences of a fall once we're beyond 65 are quite alarming and catastrophic in some cases. And we also tend to fall at a much more rapid rate in this age category. So I think it is well deserving of the alarm bell being sounded, bringing a lot of awareness to it, and also a sense of urgency that you can start doing something about it today to hopefully fall-proof your home and fall-proof your health. So let's jump right into it. So according to the CDC, those 65 and older will experience a fall roughly every 11 seconds. 1 in 4 people will fall in the course of a year that are 65 and older. And many times, within 30% of that group of people that fall, that results in a trip to the emergency room. And even those people that end up not needing or choosing not to go to the emergency room, they are now in a very, very precarious bubble. And this information I'm drawing from the many clients that I've had the pleasure of working with over the course of my 30+ year career as a personal trainer and a strength and conditioning coach. And so just giving you some feedback in terms of the feedback that they've shared with me. And that is, once they fall, they become very fearful. They start to become somewhat isolated because that fear of another fall means that they start to contract. They don't want to be out and about because they're worried that that situation could occur again. They start fearing judgment or being labeled. They fear disruption, that their loved ones are going to have to put their lives on hold to come and provide care to them. They feel the potential of being disrupted in the fact that they may be asked to contemplate whether or not it's still safe to live in their home. So a lot of people, at least based on what I'm hearing from my group and that's representing more than 1,000 people over the course of the years, they are very, very concerned that they don't always report having experienced a fall. They've told me in confidence, but sometimes they're not telling their physicians. And so that means that the CDC sometimes is probably not getting all the information that's out there. So when they say that 1 in 4 fall, the number could very likely be higher. I don't know that factually, but I'm just gleaning that information based on my small sample of hundreds and thousands of people that I've worked with over the course of my 30+ year career. Now, moving on, the Centers for Disease Control also says that 700,000 people a year will have to have an overnight hospital stay once experiencing a fall. And that falls are a lot more likely after you've already experienced one. Now we can understand why people get very concerned when they've had a fall. And the sad piece of this is also, once a person has had a fall, there's a likelihood that they could have experienced a significant break of a hip, of a vertebrae, a severe concussion, a laceration, and many of those people will never return back to their normal lifestyle again. They may never go to their homes unassisted. And in the worst case scenario, people die. So much so, 95,000 deaths a year are attributed to people who experience a fall over the age of 65. Now, why am I stating these? Not to be an alarmist, not to stoke fear, but just to create a sense of urgency in hopes that you might take this to heart and be willing to do something about this as of right now, today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do whatever it is you can do to start to fall-proof your home and your health. So, but before we can do much about preventing falls, it would make a lot of sense to know what are the likely causes of a fall. So I'm going to discuss with you 5 things that tend to be top of the list when it comes to things that make falls more likely. Number one, pretty obvious, but worth being stated. It's alcohol. We might think, one little drink, excuse me, is not a big deal, but when you have that drink and now you're not moving and navigating perhaps with the same certainty that you would when you are without alcohol in your system, that of course makes you more vulnerable to a fall. And so we need to really take note of this. And I'm not going to tell you how much to drink, not to drink, but just to be more conscientious and aware of your surroundings, acutely so when you've consumed alcohol. The other thing that I would say is number two, and I'm going to group these two things together, eyes and ears. So this is for you just to get some follow-up work with your physicians. Make sure you're getting your eye exams on a regular basis to make sure that you're not missing things that you should be seeing because your eye exam or your prescription might not be up to date. And with regard to the ears, sometimes we can have some auditory problems where we don't hear as well, or if there's a situation where we're experiencing some vertigo, that also is something that can cause us to not navigate our space as solidly and as assuredly as we ought to. The third thing I would say that is highly associated with falls is medications. Clearly something that you need to have a conversation with your doctor about, but according to the CDC, medications can cause some dizziness or drowsiness, and so you need to make sure that you talk to your doctor and ask them if any of the things that you're taking puts you at risk for fall, and maybe at the very least they can tell you times that you should take it or how much of a window that you have post consumption of your medicines that you need to be a little bit more attentive in terms of how you move around your space. Speaking of space, the fourth item that makes a person more likely to fall is lack of home safety, where you might have your rugs might not really be secured and they roll up and they move, or they slide on hardwood floors. Really be mindful of that. Make sure that you've secured those, or take them up all together if you can. Stairway safety. Make sure you're using the railings when you're going up and down the stairs. Makes a huge difference. A lot of falls occur in the home because of the very things that I'm mentioning. I would also say, in that trip from the bedroom to the bathroom in the middle of the night, make sure you have lighting so that you can easily see, because we wake up at night, we're half awake and we're trying to navigate space. Though it's familiar, you want to be able to see. Oftentimes from the bedroom to the bathroom, there's a little lip there. There's a transition zone that can make you vulnerable to a fall. And the last one that we're going to discuss today, but certainly not the least, is sarcopenia. And that is just age-related muscle loss. When we become frail, we start to lose muscle, we're not as strong, and we don't have the ability to support ourselves with confidence and strength to move through our steps, to move up and down stairs, to walk around, to step up and down on curbs. So those things become very vulnerable obstacles for us if we don't have good strength. And so what that leads me to is, in the very next video, I'm going to discuss in detail how you can get stronger, and I'm going to give you many examples of that. And in a previous video, I discussed the benefit and the importance of balance when it comes to fall prevention. So be sure to check out that previous video on fall prevention as it relates to balance, and be ready for the video that's coming ahead really soon on how to build strength and muscle to prevent you from a fall, and also to reduce the likelihood and the effects of sarcopenia, that muscle loss. So guys, if you've gotten any video benefit from this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and I really encourage you to share this information with anyone that you think might benefit from hearing this, whether it be a spouse, a parent, a neighbor, a friend, someone in a community group like a church, a garden club, whatever it might be. If you know someone might be vulnerable, or maybe not even vulnerable, but you want to make sure you help them shore up their ability to stay fall proof, be sure to share this video. And guys, hit the notification button so when that next video comes out regarding getting stronger, you'll be notified when it's ready so you can see it right away. Until next time, be well and stay healthy.